Hello, Tam of the Tam BOTC channel. We're going to do some reading of The Witcher. This is A Grain of Truth, based on a short story by Andrzej Sapkowski. You can see like the artists and writers, illustrators and such here on the side. I love this cover, by the way. Great cover. It's a hardcover dark horse comic. It's pretty cool. And I got lucky getting this locally at my bookstore. So let's get into it. Hoping my Geralt voice isn't garbage right now because I haven't done it in a while. Oats for horses, but for vultures' carcasses. Am I right, Roach? Not gonna answer? Figures you stay silent. While those damn birds won't shut their beaks, might be some work for me in this. Might just be a hot pile of dung. We don't stray from our path, we'll never find out. Oops. Don't you cheat and look ahead. Okay. Werewolf or Leshen wouldn't leave all this for scavengers. Human wouldn't leave all this for grave robbers. Though it would be things got out of hand. Wouldn't be the first time. An armorer, the woman's companion by the looks. They came from Miravel. By the way, I've been trying to recover from I have a sprained leg right now. What? But what possessed them to turn off the damn road? Cut through the woods. Man died here where he lies. Woman tried to flee. When fell and dead. Never seen a rose this color before. One thing's certain, wolves didn't do this. Whatever killed these two, it didn't leave any other tracks. I know, Roach. I couldn't look the other way. Head back to the road. But if we keep our noses out of incidents like this, won't even be enough coin for your oats. Damn it. Easy, Roach, easy. Axie. Is it as bad as all that? Really that bad? Come on, gotta look around. Nope. These pages do not want to stay. Greetings. Sorry for the glare. Damn it. Axie just keeps getting better. What the? A whole lot of talking, but I appreciate the art. When I'm let in like that, I usually leave with a few new scars. What do you think, Roach? Is this a time different? Roses. Be gone. Be gone before I devour you. Be gone lest you what? Come on. Lower that blade, would you? As you may or may not have already grasped, you have encroached onto the threshold of my residence. Grasped it. Thanks. Now you should grasp that the blade can come back out at any time, quicker than you'd think. Clearly.
Very well, mortal, speak. What do you want? What brings you here?
Got lost.
Got lost, you say? Then get found. Follow your arse. It's pointing the way.
Any water here? Horse is thirsty, as am I. If that's not asking too much.
How is it? Listen, do you truly not fear me?
Should I?
Bah! Blast it. Trifles all. Not every day I run into somebody who doesn't run upon catching sight of me. Come in. If, however, you are a thief or a bandit, I warn you, this house obeys my commands. Within these walls, I rule.
I think this is a short story, by the way, that was shown in the second season of The Witcher show, but they had some changes because they had Ciri involved, which Ciri was not there during this, as well as just a few other silly things they did.
You live alone. What concern is it of yours with whom I dwell? Light!
Nice.
As I told you, the house obeys my commands. Seems you've something dangling round your neck, guest. Whatever could it be?
Take a look.
Quite the nasty snarl on this beast. What's the meaning?
Guild emblem.
Ah, the Muzzle Makers Guild, I gather. This way, please. Sit, guest. Your belly snarls, as well as I presume.
Wouldn't turn down food, host.
Better than servants, nay, eat heartily, not but real honest food. Worry you not.
Oh, I hate the glare. I'm not worried. Come on. Stop not focusing frickin' camera on whatever the frick.
Ah, yes, not the fretting type I forgot. How are you called by the by?
Geralt, and you, host?
Neveline. To your health, Geralt.
And yours, Neveline. Skipping ahead, sorry. Your magic. You born with those abilities?
No, acquired them along with my current visage. Nearly 12 years ago now. Puzzling out how I looked before. Third portrait from the fireplace. You see it? You see?
I see.
Who in the plowing pox are you?
Don't understand.
My portrait, guest, hangs beyond the reach of the candlelight. No man could see it from where you sit. So I ask once more, who in the fiery devils are you?
A witcher.
Ah, if my memory does not deceive, witchers earn their living in a curious fashion by killing monsters of various sorts for pay.
Your memory serves you well. Gotta play some Witcher games for the channel. Gotta do the first one sometime.
They say monsters are fewer and further between, yet here you are sitting across from one. Who paid you for me?
No one. Just got lost. Besides, you're no monster, Neveline.
Ha, of course. I am no monster. It's merely the looking glasses pulling a warped sort of jest. Is that it, Witcher?
If you were a monster, you couldn't have grabbed my medallion.
Somebody cast a spell on you, a curse, and I'm sure you know who. So what if I do? Spells can be lifted. In most cases, want me to try? No, I do not. Cat got your tongue, eh? Yeah. Have a drink. I'll tell you the whole saga, Witcher. Or not. You're a kind sight for the eyes, and I'm in the mood for a chat.
Come on.
As you surely beheld, the vicinity is by and large uninhabited. My dearest father, you see, gave none who wandered this way much desire to linger. All who strayed here lost, in the best possible outcome, their fortunes, and the nearest villagers burnt when dear papa felt they tarry too long, delivering tribute. I wept terribly the day they charted in what was left of the old man after a long sword tore through him. It fell on me, as his heir, to take the reins of his band. I was a youth then, so my charges had the run of me quick as a blink. Before long, we took the too long doings. Things dear papa would have never allowed had he lived. One day we ventured as far as Gelibol, near Mert, where we looted a temple, and as ill luck would have it, found a young priestess inside. What kind of temple was it, Neveline? Pox only knows. A benighted one, for certain. Skulls and bones lay on the altar, and green flames burned in the hearth, and it reeked.
Come on. This book does not like me.
Yet I digress. The lads pinned down the priestess, tore off her garment, and told me it was time to become a man. So I became a man. The thick-headed whelp that I was. And while I was becoming a man, the priestess spat in my face and screeched out something. What? That if I am monster in human skin, so I shall be a monster in a monster's skin. Something about love, blood. I remember not exactly. The dagger was tiny, had it hidden in her hair. Most like she killed herself. We took our heels, almost ran our horses to death. Benighted it was, that temple. Go on. Afterward, all proceeded as the priestess said. A few days later, I woke in the morn to find my help mid-screech and mid-flight. Sorry. It seems, Geralt, that I panicked, had some kind of attack. In brief, lives were taken, several. I wielded whatever lay at hand. The house helped as best it could. Those who could fled in panic, even my kitty gubbers. By the time the attack passed, it was too late for anything. Too late to explain to anyone that only my appearance had changed, nothing more. I was left alone. Then came the horrible fear that they would return and kill me before I could explain. But none returned. I sat in my palace for a very long time, quiet as a mouse, until one day some corpulent oaf waltzed in like lord of the manor and cut roses from my auntie's bush. And I'll have you know, these were not any old flowers, but blue roses from Nazaire. When round Ars found his tongue, he claimed he'd only wanted a few flowers for his dearest daughter, pleaded for me to spare his life, etc., and so on.
Kind of reminds me of Beauty and the Beast.
Pox, I thought, in tales, calmly maids turn frogs into princes and vice versa, so perhaps there's a grain of truth in that babble, a speck of hope. I yelled your daughter or your life, since nothing better sprang to mind. The merchant, for he was a merchant, beat his breast, then revealed his daughter had been seen but 8 springs. Would you laugh? No. Nor did I know whether to laugh or cry over fate's cruel buggery. I felt pity for the merchant, couldn't watch the way he quivered. I invited him in, welcomed him as a guest, and stuffed his pouch with gold and gems in parting. You should know there was quite a trove left in the cellars, remnants from Papa's days. The merchant must have roasted of his adventure somewhere, for not 2 months passed before another arrived. He had brought a rather ample sack with him, and his daughter, who was ample as well. We agreed he would leave her with me for a year. I had to help him load his sack onto his mule. He never would have lifted it himself. And the girl, after a month or so, she stopped going into convulsions. At the sight of me, she was pleasant, sharp beyond belief, but all the same, I couldn't get myself to do anything about it. Thing is, Geralt, I had always been shy with the ladies, even those raised in a barn, with dung still on their calves, and the kind the lads from my band would have their way with. The year lingered on, like the stink of unwashed conscripts, until the merchant finally appeared and took her away. Whereupon I resigned, locked myself in my residence, and gave no response to any visitors for several months. But after a year spent in another's company, I understood how hard it is when you have no one to flap your jaw at. The next wench was named Fenny. She was petite, clever, and chirpy, not a speck afraid of me. One day, the anniversary of my cutting, it so happened we both got drunk, and they say fairy tales hold the wisdom of the ages' wisdom. Wisdom like that is not worth a heap of shite, Geralt. My muzzle remained as hideous as ever, save mayhap for a more foolish expression. I admit I was disappointed and dejected. But Fenny, well, she tried to make me forget all my worries. She even thought up a way to scare off unwanted guests. That was a merry lass, I'm telling you.
Burbs. Also bestiality.
Then there were others, Primula, Ilka, and Venamira. It all went the same every time, ad nauseum. First, a mixture of fear and reluctance, then budding friendship, nurtured by trifling yet expensive gifts, until at last it was bite me, you darling beast, tear into me, you animal, and other such idiocies.
Okay.
Then their papa's return, tender farewells, followed by an increasingly noticeable lightness to my treasury. I decided to spend longer intervals in solitude. Of course, I'd long stopped believing that a fair maid's kiss would restore my former visage. What's more, I came to the conclusion that my visage is fine the way it is. No changes needed. None at all, Neveline. If you only knew the strapping health that comes with the body is one thing, the other, my exotic oddity acts on lasses like an aphrodisiac. Huh. Don't laugh. No wench would even glance at a man looking like I do in that portrait. And the third safety, dear Papa had enemies, several of whom survived the men my band thrust into an early grave under my pathetic leadership, had relatives. There's gold in my vaults. If not for the fear I arouse, someone would come to take it. You seem quite sure you've wronged no one in your current form. No father, no daughter. Is that right, Neveline? Please, Geralt, what sort of drivel is this? The fathers were beside themselves with joy, told you I was generous beyond comprehension. And the daughters? You didn't see them when they came here, in coarse dresses, hands bleached from washing, hunched over from hauling water buckets. Even after 2 weeks with me, Primula still bore marks on her back and hips from the belt with which Sir Dada had tanned her hide. Whereas with me, they strolled like princesses, their hands only ever holding fans, not even knowing where the kitchen is located. And as for matters of the bed chamber, well, blast, castity is rarer than a rock dragon in our times. I forced no one, Geralt. But you suspected someone had paid me for you. Who might have paid? Some scoundrel who ran out of daughters, but hankered after more of my treasury. Human greed knows no bounds. No other options. Not a one.
I have a feeling my phone's about to shut off just because of how long I've been reading this. So expect it if it cuts off.
Neveline, are you alone now? Neveline, are you alone now? Don't treat me like some half-trained imbecile. I spied from the start the way you've cocked your ear, darted your eyes at the door. You know full well I do not live alone. Am I right? Pox take your apologies. You've seen her, then. Yeah, in the woods, near the gate. That why merchants with daughters have been riding off empty-handed recently.
Wait. Wait, that's him talking, sorry. That why merchants with daughters have been riding off empty-handed recently.
Yes, Geralt, that is the reason.
My back.
If you don't mind, I'd like to ask. No, I do mind.
Well, as you wish. Thanks for the hospitality. Host time for me to hit the road.
Indeed it is.
Certain you don't need my help?
Are you certain you could help me? Would you be able to lift this from me?
To lift a curse cast by a priestess of Karam Terra, you need knowledge and skills, which I do not possess.
And who does possess them?
So you are interested after all.
I've suffered from wretched dreams for some time. Monstrous might be the more apt word. Are my fears founded be brief, I ask.
Your fears are founded.
Come, I'll lead you out. They like me, the beasties, and I like them, my kitten. Gubbers, though she shunned me at first, she returned. Verena, she
likes cats, too.
Birds, I've given myself away, pox it all. What do I care? This is not another attempt to seek a grain of truth in old babblings. This is a matter of grave import. We love each other. Laugh, and I shall pummel your teeth in, your tonsils.
Your Verena's probably a Rusalka, but you know that, right?
Suspected as much, Such slender dark, speaks rarely in a tongue I fathom not, eats no human fare, slips off into the woods days at a time, then wanders back typical, all that.
More or less, suppose you think she wouldn't come back if you turned human.
Damned sure of it. You know how much Rusalkas,
yeah, okay.
fear men. Hardly one's been spotted close up, whereas Verena and I, pox it all. Farewell, Geralt.
Farewell, Niveline. Yeah, it's reaching 30 minutes now. It's a longer comic, makes sense.
Geralt,
speak.
I'm not the fool you take me for. You come here along the trail of one of the merchants to last visit, so something's befallen one.
Yes.
One came, a daughter in tow. 3 days back, I gave no sign of life. They poked around the courtyard, then rode off.
Thanks, Niveline. I'll keep you in mind. Who knows, maybe I'll find someone who...
Perhaps, and perhaps not. The problem's mine, as is the life, as is the punishment. I've learned to bear it, grown accustomed. If things take a turn for the worse, I'll learn to bear that too. And if the turn is truly horrible, don't look for anyone. Just come here yourself and put an end to it. The Witcher way.
Drink up, Roach. Drink all you want. Axie. Turning into quite the hysteric, Roach. Run-of-the-mill fairy ring. Why make a scene? They like me, the beasties. Sorry, horse. Seems you have more sense than I do.
Easy, Roach. You don't have to go in. You resemble a Rusalka enough to fool anybody. No fooling horses, though. Their instincts recognize your kind without fail. What are you, thinking Mula? Or an elp, a vampire? But one that doesn't mind the sun. You were drawn here by Neveline in his current form, the dreams he mentioned, you caused them. I can guess what kind of dreams those were, and pity him. Birds you like, but men, women, you've no problem biting their necks, clean through.
Come on, book. Video's probably going to end any minute.
You and Neveline, oh my, quite the pair, monster and vampiress. You, eternally thirsty for blood, in him, your defender, a killer at your beck and call. But first, he had to become a true monster, not a man in a monster's mask. What have you and that raven hair of yours done to him? You were singing, meaning you've drunk blood. You turned to your last resort, so you weren't able to enslave his mind. Am I getting this right? So, a Mula, an elp. Ah, so that means you're a Bruxa. Hello, trope.